the last like 5 games, it felt like I've split with my girlfriend, but I'm still living in the same house as her.
Are you well?
Yeah, obviously very happy. Yeah, you know, I think before the game, the result wasn't obviously for the league and for the club and for the players. The result was really important, but for me personally, I would have felt proud at the end, and I knew the players would put in an unbelievable performance. We've never been turned over as a team, so that was never on the cards. You know, a heavy defeat. So the result wasn't too important to me personally, but I had such a huge desire to win for the players and for the staff and for the fans, and so I'm really happy that we've put ourselves in a real good position now for the league.
What are the emotions tonight?
Strange. The last 3 days have been really strange because obviously I'm really excited for the opportunity and the next level, you know, the next stage of the journey. But at the same time, it feels odd to think I'm never going to come here again and win, and we're not going to have Champions League nights, and we're not going to have times when we win trophies. So yeah, a little bit odd. Like that side of it, I feel really disappointed that this is the last time I'm going to be here. But I totally understand that this is the next level of my journey, and I'm incredibly excited for it.
You leave the team on top of the table, which I guess is how you'd want it to be. What's the potential for them now? How far can this team go?
They can definitely win the league. If I reflect on how they're going to win the league, or how we would have won the league when I sat down at Christmas, it was knowing that we had to beat Arsenal here and we have to beat Chelsea here, and knowing that we have to be consistent in and around those games. We are doing that. We've been super consistent in the games like Tottenham away and those type of games, Bristol away, when potentially you can pick up draws. And we're so strong at home that I feel comfortable. If I was doing the Chelsea game, they're an incredible team, but I'd feel comfortable that we can get a result there. So they can definitely go on and win the league. I think for us, it's about reflecting on where is our position. You know, Chelsea are as good as Manchester City, Manchester City are as good as Arsenal. That all 3 of us are exactly the same, and it's who's going to be so consistent. And for us, it's how we're going to move forward to make sure that we consistently compete domestically.
And when you reflect on the time that you've been here and what you've achieved, what gives you the most satisfaction?
That we've played a huge. I think if I reflect back, I think 2014, 2015, 2016, we definitely injected. We made people look at how we were doing it, the facilities that we trained at, the way that we treated our players, the opportunities that we were giving them to be professional, and we bared the fruits of that really early. And 2016, I think, was a direct reaction from doing that. We were the best team by a mile in 2016, and we won the league at Canter. We won it. If you think we only conceded 4 goals that season, and 3 of them were penalties. And everybody else, it sort of pushed everybody. And I think now Arsenal are doing a fantastic job. Chelsea are doing a great job at pushing the women's game. And you know, I'm proud that we played a huge part in that. I'm proud that we've played a huge part in individual players' journeys, and we've gave them the opportunity. For me, when I took the job, all I wanted to do was give people the opportunity to realise their potential. And the club have given me that in having the opportunity to take the women's game. So I'm proud that we've done that. I think for me, you know, one thing I am proud of is that when I took this job, I was probably very naive, a young head coach, but wanted to try and dominate whatever league I went in. And I look back now and think, you know what, we have done really well. Like, we probably should have won another league. I'd love to have gotten to a Champions League final. Probably should have won the Conti Cup in 2017 and 2018. But yeah, what we've done is laid the foundation for the next person to come in and really go on and be successful.
And last one for me. What excites you now about the new challenge? You talked about the journey. The next part of your own journey.
That we're going to a team that has an incredible. Myself and Ronny, we're going to a team that has an incredible desire to be successful, a real enthusiasm to be successful in the MLS. It reminds me of this project so much that in 2016, when we won the league, we'd had 2 years at getting the feel of it and doing things right, doing things wrong, and we were ready to go and win. And I think at New York, you know, we've been in the playoffs now consistently for 4 years. We finished top of the Eastern Conference last year, but didn't go that next step. And I think now we're ready to go that next step, but it's going to be incredibly hard because that league, like this one, is super competitive.
What was watching that game, particularly in the sort of last 20 minutes, like for you?
Do you know what? Like, I've become like comfortable being uncomfortable. Every big game has been like that since I've been here. You know, like last year, that game was the same as Chelsea last year, but they got the free kick that flicked off the wall and went in. We could have easily won that game and gone on to be in a position that we're in now, but we didn't, and it pegged us back. So tactically, the goal came from something we didn't do very well. We spoke a lot about the pressing angles of our forwards, and Stanway, listen, she's not a right fullback, but positionally, just we could have dealt with that a little bit better. But you know what? I know the desire and the drive that this team has, and to be fair, I was pretty comfortable that we'd get over the line. You just never know because Arsenal's such a top team.
Nick, we've always been like so close when we play Arsenal. You know, there's never much in it. There's always a goal here or there. But obviously, reflecting on Wednesday and coming into this game, what did you feel that you needed to see from the team in order to get the win?
Simple. Don't pass it to Medina in the box, and don't let it go through your legs. No, I think both games, like the one where we lost 1-0 earlier in the season, I thought we were terrible. We were too passive in the first half. We sat too deep and we weren't aggressive enough. And if you give Arsenal time to sit and start to dictate rhythm and dictate the play, they're going to pick you off at some point. It's almost like a slow death. They're going to find the opportunity. So, but in the second half, even though they were 1-0, we were a bit more aggressive and we probably could have got a draw, but we didn't do enough. Then in the game in midweek, I said to the team after it, like, if you don't believe you can go on and win, you'll never win. Because it still baffles me how we lost that game. We had the best 3 chances at 0-0. We then gifted them a goal that you can't gift Arsenal a goal. And we gifted them a second goal. Then we got one back. And I actually thought the game was going to extra time. I was still saying to my assistant 5 minutes ago, this game will go to extra time, we'll score. And then it didn't feel like a semi-final on Wednesday. It felt like a league game of 2 mid-table teams. It was a flat game. And I don't know if that was because it was midweek or they had injuries or we maybe lacked a little bit of mentality. But, you know, I think this is a special place. We very rarely lose here. And when I walked in at the start of the game, I felt like when we played Chelsea in 2016, it was real. I'm always super nervous and really anxious before the game because I want to win so much. And I walked up comfortable. I never felt we'd lose this game today.
Are you worried about any of the little knocks, the niggles in the game from any of the players? Was there any concerns?
It was nip and tuck, wasn't it? Like, they had a go, we had a go. And I think that's such a... that's recognition for the women's game, how hard that game was played. Like, there was seemed to be like a little bit of a fight on the halfway line at one point, which like there's so much desire to win, there's so much on it. We don't want games where they just go out and nobody wins. No, we'll be okay. I mean, obviously our squad is a little bit light at the minute without Janine and without Lee. But no, I thought in the end, we came through. There was no problems coming off the pitch. We need to make sure now that we recover because, like I said to you earlier in the week, those games in and around the head-to-heads will really define this title.
You've had a really proud history of bringing through young players here. What always strikes me is they don't play like they're young players almost. So like Kira Ward playing such a disciplined role, and I think Lauren Hemp's been so consistent this season. How have you managed to get such mature performances out of these young players?
Trust, I think, allowing them in their early years to make mistakes. I tell all of the young players when they come here they can't fail because it's for me to put. When we put Ellie Roebuck in, we put her in 2 years before she probably should have played. But if she fails, I'm putting her in. Like, she has to go through those processes. Stanway, Kira, all of those players, and I think it's the trust that they know that they're not letting me or the football club down, and us knowing that if we play these younger players, we're going to bear the fruits of that. I think for us as a football team now, and I think the proud thing that is locking them into contracts so that we get them through their best years. It's no good us, putting all these younger players in and creating players for everyone else to win. We have to make sure that we lock them in, and the football club is doing that. We look at Caroline Weir signing. We're looking at Stanway re-signed, Hemp's re-signed. We're going to get those players now through their best years, and that to me gives us a great chance of going on and winning a Champions League. Because if we look at our English players now, if I look at the young English players, they are the future of the women's game in Europe. I don't see any other country producing the amount of young players that we are. You look at Leah playing for Arsenal; she has a top centre half. The league is got a lot of good young players, and for us it's about playing them here early, making sure that they have an affinity with the club, making sure we give them opportunity, and every one of them has repaid back in performances everything that we've gave them in trust of playing them.
Were there any other young players coming through the academy that you'd really be looking to play if you were still here?
Yeah, I think for us, there's a lot of young players in our academy. If I was looking at the next few years, the likes of Jess Park and Tyler Toland will be huge players for this football club. I think the difficulty that we have now is finding opportunity for those players. Like if I look at Kira Walsh when she came in 2014, well, we weren't that good a team, so it was really easy for her to go in at 17, 16 and play because we had no one else. Look at Stanway who came in 2015. Still then we only probably had a squad that was 80% real quality and 20% players that were really helping us, and those players done a great job for us. Now we've got our team is so competitive, and to get Jess Parks in, we have to take that leap of faith. And she is a real talent. She will be one in the English game that will play for England and will contribute to England being successful. But yeah, I think we'll always have that. We'll always have that process of making sure we have the best, or we try to get the best young British talent.
You said you're not a crier. Did you get close at all?
Nah, I get emotional at full time. Like I got emotional at full time in the Conti Cup when we won. I got emotional when we beat Arsenal here in the semi-final of Conti Cup in 2016. I got a little bit emotional at full time but I think that's being proud of the players, because you know what, like we see in the men's and the women's game, like, some teams don't have that real desire to win. That's why winning is so hard. That's why I have so much respect for Chelsea and Arsenal and ourselves. Because we've consistently, people say, yeah, but those teams just have all the money and those teams just have this and have that. It's not. It's having the right people and having a real desire to win. Like I see people complaining. Like I go on social media and have a little look, and it says, yeah, but City's recruitment's this, and they bought this player and they've done this. Well, we're top of the league still with that recruitment, and so I don't know what they're arguing. Yeah, it's dead easy to go out and just buy the best player. Like everybody in the world wants to do that, but we've done it in a way that we believe is the right way. And okay, it's not everybody wants to say it, say it's the right way. But for us to have those players like Caroline Weir, we bring her here from Liverpool. She has 2 years at Bristol and Liverpool where she loses every week. We put huge responsibility on her to be in our team and win, and she's delivered. It's about spotting potential and giving them the opportunity and the trust to go and win.
Nick, it's a question I'm actually going to hate asking because I try and keep women's and men's football separate, but I saw a lot of messages from your players. Has there been any conversation or part in conversation with Pep Guardiola, and what's it been like to have access to someone like him during your time here at the
Yeah, he'd done a press conference before, when it was first announced. He does his press conference in here, and I was having coffee in the HQ downstairs, and when he came out, he came over and we had a good chat, because obviously Dome was his assistant that went to manage New York, so he gave me some advice. He gave me the opportunity to speak with Dome, and he's always been incredible for me. Like maybe in the first year we didn't have so much contact because his job coming to England was he wanted to learn the league, but over the last 2 seasons for sure I've had an incredible amount of opportunity to discuss football with the greatest coach that's ever coached the game, in my opinion. And if I reflect back on like 2014, 2015, I was reading his books. Now I'm sitting in an office with a tactics board. This football club has gave me an incredible amount of opportunity, whether it be to coach the under-9s when I was 21-year-old, or to come into the women's team, or to sit with Pep Guardiola. And do you know what? He's been a real inspiration for me, but there's been so many people here, whether it be, Jason Wilcox as our academy director, Brian Marwood, who was a director at the football club, having the opportunity when Scott Sellers was the head coach, just some great people. And whether it be football staff or non-football staff, they gave me an incredible amount of advice. I said on the pitch, I've never, ever, ever felt like my job was in jeopardy. When we messed the league up in 2017, 2018, horrifically, we got to the end of the season pre-season and planned for another year.
Has it sunk in yet that it's all finished here?
No, I don't know, it almost breaks my heart a little bit to think that, because it's been so good, and after a result like that I almost want to stay and finish the year. But it is what it is. At no point would I have walked out of here happy, even in 10 years if I'd have won 10 league titles on the run. It was always going to be this way. I think you invest so much time in building relationships, and you invest in so much time in working hard and winning, that what you do is you create a little bit of a monster that when you have to walk away from it, the last 5 games, it felt like I've split with my girlfriend, but I'm still living in the same house as her. Bit strange, but now to leave, I feel like we've left this team in a place where it can consistently go on and continue to win. We've built the foundation for a very successful women's football team, and I'm on to the next journey now. And you know, I was 29 when I took the job. I'm 35 now. I wasn't going to finish my career being the head coach of Manchester City Women, whether it's my choice or their choice. Somebody was going to make that decision for us. It feels like the right time because the opportunity for New York, being a team in the group, is such a good opportunity and reminds me so much of the journey of Manchester City Women's that I'm so excited for it.
What advice would you pass on to your backroom team that will now take over from you if you're sitting there?
Don't mess it up. No, not at all, because I think ultimately we've got such a defined strategy here that they don't really need me, the players, and the staff know the way that we work and the system that we play and the way that we train, and there's some incredible people there, whether it be Alan Marn, Chris Williams, James McCarran, all of the staff. One, they work hard, and two, they have an incredible amount of knowledge, and what they've got going for them is they work at a football club that has a real amount of experience that can guide them, and that's all I've been, guided by the knowledge and the experience at the football club. So, you know, they have to plan the week without me. I'm always on the end of the phone. I'll be honest, I know Alan, he's a good friend of mine, and I'll probably play a huge part in planning the next 5 games, even from New York. I'll be on the end of the phone, I'll give him my advice, and he will pick the team and he will be the head coach, but you know, I will help this team in any way that I can. Thank you. Thank you very much as well for all your support. Thank you for never hammering me in the press and slaughtering me. And, you've always been very kind. Yeah. If we don't win a game in New York, don't be battering me. No, I actually came to the gate this morning to get in, put my pass on the gate, and it didn't open, so I think it's a bit soon.